I'm trying to make some up there. I have a quick catch.
We started to instead of Friday.
Section, I'll make it easier for me to read.
I can do it.
Right.
That's the trouble, you when you get the money for it, that's if you say no, you feel better.
Yeah. Don't ask for
You're ready, we're recording.
Okay, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Matt, you call the roll, please.
Jenneru,
Here.
Wickman,
Yes.
Herder,
Yes.
Pierce.
Yes.
Let the record show that Tim White is the only member that's absent.
Have you all had a chance to take a look at the minutes? If so, entertain a motion to approve.
Move to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Public hearing. Before we get started, there's a statement I have to read. The public hearings will be conducted pursuant to the board's rules of procedure as adopted May 26, 1988. We will first hear the report of the planning director on the detailed information and observations regarding the request, if not done so in written form prior to the hearing. Next, we will take testimony of the applicant and his or her witnesses. Upon completion of the applicant's testimony, I will call upon members of the audience wishing to make a statement concerning the request. Persons in favor of the request shall be heard first, followed by those opposed to it. At any time during the presentation of testimony, the members of the board may interrupt to ask questions or to make comments on what has been said. Upon completion of all testimony, the applicant will be allowed to make a closing statement to the board. Upon completion of the applicant's closing statement, we will then hear the recommendation, if any, of the planning director, and upon completion of all discussion, I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing on the request. After the public hearing has been closed, I will entertain a motion from the members of the board regarding the disposition of the application. Each speaker addressing this board shall step forward to the podium, state their name and address before proceeding with their testimony or evidence. I would ask that you spell your last name. This board shall not be bound by the strict rules of evidence, but does reserve the right to exclude evidence or testimony that it may deem to be irrelevant, immaterial, incompetent, or unduly repetitious. As chairman, I will rule on all questions relating to the admissibility of evidence, which may be overruled by a majority of the board. The board may grant continuances in case for good cause shown to any interested party who has entered his appearance. The board may at any time request a continuance of a hearing for the purpose of giving further notice, taking further evidence, gathering further information, touring the proposed site, or for such other reasons as the board may find sufficient. In such case, we shall state the specific reasons for the continuance and set a date, time, and place when the matter will be continued. All official actions of this board will be made at a public hearing by motion made, seconded, and a polling of the membership. If conditions are imposed, such conditions shall be included in the motion or amendment thereto. Our final decision will be prepared in writing and will be part of the public record of this board. Once this board has reached a decision on a case, that decision shall be final. Section 335.18 of the Code of Iowa states, any person or persons jointly or severally aggravated by any decision of the Board of Adjustment under the provisions of Chapter 335, or any taxpayer or any officer, department, board, or bureau of the county may present to a court of record a petition duly verified setting forth that such decision was illegal in whole or in part, specifying the grounds of the illegality. Such petitions shall be presented to the court within 30 days after the filing of the decision of the office of the board. And with that, I'll entertain a motion to open case CU 2015-03.
Also moved.
Second.
We need a roll call. We need a roll call for that, man.
No.
Okay. We have a motion and a second. Open public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay, this is for applicant Cecil Knoll. Cool. if you want to step forward and, that podium center.
Yeah, that's where they have to stand at over there.
Oh, okay, that changed. Okay,
I'm Cecil Knoll, Noel, 22206, Old Lincoln Highway, Crescent, Iowa, 51526. The purpose of this is for additional parking. I've got an area behind my house that's been welled out, water runs in it. I need to make it a little bit wider. I've got dirt I've had to pile up there, that Matt's looked at. In order for me to move that dirt, I have to get a permit. That's basically all it is, very simple. I just need additional parking around my property, back, behind, and, out of the way. At least till I can sell some of my stuff, I'm retiring.
okay. Has everybody had an opportunity to take a look at the exhibits? Any questions for Mr. Noel? With none, anyone else speaking in favor? Sure.
I'm Mark Schuler, SCHILLER, 22274 Old Lincoln Highway. And basically, the only reason I'm here is because I want to make sure that it's done right. And I know Cecil knows how to do it right, but we had an incident with the person between us that actually cut into my property and cut out the property line and everything else. So I just want to say that I'm for Cecil being able to do this, but I want to make sure that it's done right.
Okay,
And he's assured me that it will, you know.
thank you. Anyone else speaking in favor? Anyone opposed? Do you wish to provide any closing statement, Cecil? Mr. Noel?
No, I think the paperwork and anything that Matt had expected out there probably says about all. It's a pretty simple process.
Okay.
It's about 1/1800ths of an acre.
Okay,
What it is.
thank you. You've all noticed in there that he does have an approved soil erosion plan from the Soil and Water Conservation District. Okay. Matt, what is the recommendation?
The recommendation by the planning department is to approve the application subject to the following conditions. There's only one. It's the applicant shall fully execute approved erosion control plan within 30 days of the decision of the Board of Adjustment based on the following findings of fact. The subject property is located in the Class A4 Les Hills District. While the applicant has moved soils in excess of the minimum that was required prior to obtaining the permit, denial of the conditional use permit would only further jeopardize the stability of the Les soils and further erosion and sediment would be experienced. The completion of the dirt work proposed by this conditional use permit would be consistent with the goals and provisions contained in the land use plan for the Les Hills. The dirt work that is proposed is minimal, will be fully contained within the boundaries of the applicant's property and is not visible from Old Lincoln Highway. The applicant is proposing to provide an area for parking vehicles. The area to be disturbed is minimal and is not foreseen to be excessive. The implementation of the submitted soil erosion control plan will minimize soil erosion problems. The proposed conditional use is not a change of land use. Thus, the stipulation in condition number 3 is not applicable. The only time the road system may be impacted by the activity of this conditional use permit is during the implementation of the erosion control plan. Old Lincoln Highway is a paved highway and should not be impacted. The minimal area being disturbed the reestablishment of the slope so that the vegetation can be reestablished all throughout the implementation of the submitted soil erosion. Soil control plan will minimize soil erosion problems, and the proposed conditional use will comply with the conditions established by the zoning ordinance upon implementation of the erosion control plan.
Does anybody have any questions for Matt? None heard. I'll entertain a motion to close public hearing.
So close.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. What's the direction of the board?
I recommend that we accept it with the conditions that have been outlined, and that those will be done. I would be recommending that.
Okay, based on the findings of fact, okay. So the motion, do I have a second?
I'll say-
Motion and a second. Matt, you call the roll, please.
Jenner,
Yes.
Wickman,
Yes.
Herder,
Yes.
Pierce?
Yes.
Let the record show that.
Your application's been approved. Anything else for the board, Matt?
Nothing else?
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to close I'm sorry, to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to adjourn, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay,